So Will Laws got done with his set, and he went over there, and he stood in the doorway, and he just blocked the entire doorway, bending over to talk to his friend. And this forced me into the uncomfortable situation of having to walk past Will Laws to get to the stage, but I didn't want to hold up, and so I just had to walk past him and kind of gently brush against him, like you like to pretend that you don't do when you're getting onto an airplane or whatever. And I was really worried that all of you saw me do that. And then for some reason I chose to speak about it. I am straight though. And anybody who's gay in here knows that already. Not for the reasons you think, just because of how I don't dress good.
Neither do I.
Neither do I.
Sorry.
I hate to make assumptions about you, sir. Do you prefer the company of other gentlemen?
For sure. No doubt.
No, I did just commit the unforgivable sin of assuming the man's gender. But I think I got it right.
Don't like the girls that much.
He says he doesn't like the girls that much.
No, they're beautiful.
I respect that. I'm glad that we live in a century where it's okay for a man to stand up and say, yeah, you know what?
No goose.
No. Because any dude who ever went to high school, we had this whole thing where we had to pretend to be way hornier than we were. Do you remember this? You'd be on the bus going to basketball. You'd be talking about how this one time there was this chick. There was not that chick. That never happened.
Okay.
He's certainly verbal, isn't he?
Yes.
Really fighting those stereotypes up here, sir. Death Queen! If your back hurts just a little bit, you remember how awesome Dragon Ball Z was? Anybody? Am I so old that this joke is no longer relevant? See, Dragon Ball Z was on in a decade called the 90s. All right, and it would come on Cartoon Network, and it was this cultural phenomenon, but when they released it in the US, they would release it one season at a time, and then Cartoon Network would show you all of the episodes that they had, and then they'd go back to the beginning and they'd start over and show you all the episodes that they had, plus the new ones that they'd gotten since then. And so, if you caught Dragon Ball Z and you were the first person in the friend group to have watched Dragon Ball Z, you knew what was going to happen next, and you could lord this over all of your friends, right? It was like if you had ever read a book during when Game of Thrones was good. Except instead of being oh yeah, you gotta watch this episode because you're not gonna believe who dies, you could be yeah, you gotta watch this episode because they charge up more. That was
Right. Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Who's your favorite Dragon Ball Z character? Vegeta. I like how he had that on lock. He was just yeah, I like the bad guy. He was great. He became the good guy, and then he was just always slightly weaker than Goku for the rest of the series.
Yeah, tail.
That's exactly it. He had a tail, and he got tail.
Yes, sir.
Vegeta marries Bulma. Just saying. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Everybody pull out your phones right now. Stop paying attention to my set. It's not funny. Pull out your phones right now. Google Bulma, Dragon Ball Z. Or don't if you came here with a woman. You did technically. It's not going to do anything for you, sir. You need to Google for Krillin.
I don't care anymore. I'm too old. It doesn't matter.
I like how I do that joke for one person. All right, ladies and gentlemen, clap for me. It's been weird.